Hey gang, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to do a quick tutorial on how to build a job search tracker and quickly populate it using AI. Now, this is something that anyone can do who's job hunting. So trust me, this isn't just reserved for the hip teenagers in your life who know how to do tech things. Now, before we get into it, a quick disclaimer. At the time of this video, AI is developing faster than we can even keep up with as humans. It's actually quite concerning. So while I'm sharing this info to give you ideas and advice based on things I've observed, by no means am I endorsing specific platforms or types of AI. And also, I don't have any control over what individual AI tools might spit back out to you. So just know that the experience you're about to see may differ from your own, even if you replicate it exactly as I'm showing on my screen. And also, there are some important caveats that I'll touch on at the end of the video around accuracy and data privacy. So highly recommend checking that section out before you jump into trying any of the exercises. Okay, gang, let's get back on track. Now, first things first, when I say job tracker, it's really not as serious as it sounds. It's basically just a tool in whatever format you choose to help you keep track of your job search. If you've never used one and tend to feel like a chicken without a head when you're frantically searching for your next gig, then I highly recommend using one to stay organized. Now, your system doesn't need to be a spreadsheet, but that's how I like to organize mine. So I've included the link to a free template you can use in the video description. My tracker consists of 3 sections: links to job boards where I might want to search, links to organizations where I might want to work if they have an opening, and finally, my actual job application submitted. For today's video, we'll focus on populating those first 2 sections. Okay, now in reality, I already have a list of job boards that I've used over the years populated in my personal tracker because I'm that desperate. Organized. But let's pretend we're starting completely from scratch here. We'll use a generative AI tool, in this case, ChatGPT, to populate our initial list. Let's prompt ChatGPT to give me a list of job boards to start. And to make this useful, I'm going to specify that I want boards that feature jobs located in the US. Because applying to be Warden of the Swans for the Queen of England would be pretty cool, but isn't exactly on my career bingo card. And yes, that is a real job, you guys. Okay, let's enter our prompt into ChatGPT. Okay, not bad. But let's say hypothetically, I want to work in a certain industry or type of organization, like nonprofits. I'm going to refine my prompt, aka the thing I just typed, so that ChatGPT gives me job boards that are specifically known to include nonprofit jobs. Okay. Obviously, if you're interested in nonprofit fundraising jobs specifically, or technology roles in finance, or any other combination of industry and job function, you can try specifying that in your prompt and see what ChatGPT spits out. All right, this is a pretty great list. But for this to be useful and actually save me time, I need it in a format that I can just drop into my spreadsheet tracker. And because I'm all about making my life as easy as possible, I want to include the URLs to those websites so that whenever inspiration or desperation strikes, I can just click and browse without playing detective. So let's tell ChatGPT to put this in a format that works for our G sheet. This time, I'm going to tell it what columns to include. Excellent. Now I can just copy and paste this table into my spreadsheet, move things around, and I have a starting point for my job board search. Alrighty, let's do the same thing now with our list of potential employers. Say I'm particularly interested in working with education nonprofits in the US. Let's ask ChatGPT to create a list of prospective organizations as our starting point. In the last example, we prompted ChatGPT for a list of job boards and then refined the prompt to get to our final table format. Let's skip all that refinement and give ChatGPT a super specific prompt from the start. This time, I'm going to ask it to include the URL to the organization, their careers page, and their LinkedIn profile so that I can easily scan for new job listings. And let's pretend I'm based in San Francisco. I'm going to make sure that the organization has an office in San Fran, or I would accept a remote worker from California. There's a theme here, gang. If you haven't guessed by now, the more specific your prompt is, the more relevant your results are likely to be. And again, we can copy and paste this into our tracker and have a starting point for our job search. Okay, gang, if you're thinking, holy crap, that was cool, I totally get it. I think so too. But now for the caveats of this video. When using AI in this way for your job search, there's just a few things you'll want to keep in mind. First, AI is fast, but it ain't perfect. And sometimes the information will be wrong, which we call a hallucination. The good thing is that if you're really using your job tracker, you'll already be in there clicking into things and verifying the information just by virtue of browsing listings. But still keep this in mind anyway. So for example, some of the careers pages I asked for in that last example don't actually lead me to an organization's jobs page. But that's okay because that's something I can go in and manually fix myself as I uncover these things. The other thing to keep in mind is that AI is a wild west right now in terms of data privacy. So always remember never to prompt your AI with any personal information about you. Think name, age, background, where you went to high school. Because once an AI tool learns your information, you want to assume that it can't unlearn the information. It's a lot like humans in that way, ironically. And especially if you're using an AI tool that has your credentials, gang, meaning you use an email address or some other way to officially create an account, definitely be mindful of what you include in those prompts. Consider this your PSA from a mindful, if not deeply concerned, fellow data nerd. And finally, we only use ChatGPT for this video because it's one of the more common names out there, not because I personally prefer it or endorse it in any way. Remember though that there are tons of generative AI tools out there, meaning AI that will create text, media, or other content for you beyond what I show in these videos. You can web search for different ones like Perplexity, for example, to experiment with the results and see which experience you like better overall. And that's how you can use AI for your job search, gang. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And for more tips, be sure to subscribe. Thanks!